Galnet News Digest, 4th of February 3306. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, low temperature loophole lost. Dramatic technological developments announced on Twitter. The Thargoids have already won. Low temperature loophole lost. The recent changes to pricing of minerals such as void opals and painite were intended to protect the livelihood of hard-pressed market traders in starports throughout the bubble. No longer constrained by a regulated pricing structure, buyers are no longer forced to buy minerals at inflated prices when demand has already been satisfied, and are allowed to offer a lower per unit price to commanders who have way too many tons of cargo to get rid of. There was a loophole. Low-temperature diamonds were not being correctly counted by the census machines, and some commanders were still able to make a killing, forcing many starport traders into bankruptcy. A firmware update to the census machines deployed on Friday now makes them able to correctly count the ice diamonds, allowing the correct offer price to be calculated automatically. Many commanders are upset by the changes and are demanding that their union should protest about the low level of return that dirty and dangerous void opal mining offers. Every commander who undertakes mining deserves to be a multi-billionaire, richer than that old and irrelevant ex-pirate Calico Zach Rackham. However, commanders have benefited in one important way. Stations will now allow their spot prices for high-grade minerals to be broadcast through the Universal Cartographics Network and displayed on the galaxy map, regardless of whether the viewing commander has any of that mineral on board at the time. The key to making a profit in mining appears to be to use smaller, more versatile ships, such as the Python, and making sure that you don't tell anyone else about the best places to sell. Dramatic technological developments announced on Twitter. A fully featured replacement to Galnet has come online. Hosted by the Pilots Federation, the so-called Twitter feed contains vital news and commentary in bite-sized chunks, ensuring that commanders are kept abreast of what's going on in the galaxy in politics, trade, exploration and security. Typical news updates include this announcement of a new ship-scale instant teleportation system, which instantly removes your ship from danger when its hull is damaged, by moving it far more efficiently than the frameshift drive system to a random location elsewhere. This is how the news was teased. We have a question for you. Would you take the following deal? You receive 1 billion credits, but every time your hull is damaged, you're teleported to a random location in space. This announcement is clearly highly exciting, and we look forward to hearing further details of the technology as it becomes commercially available. The offer of 1 billion credits to take part in the trial is a nice gesture, but is clearly unnecessary, representing as it does less than a week's earnings for a typical mining specialist. Work is apparently also underway to mitigate the Thargoid threat by gene-splicing the Thargoids with waterfowl. The research team undertaking this dangerous and intricate work are following 2 different possible paths of research, and have given Pilots Federation members the opportunity to shape this game-changing solution. The question put to commanders is, would you rather fight 10 duck-sized Thargoid ships, or 1 Thargoid ship-sized duck? The community of commanders has voted overwhelmingly in favour of turning all the Thargoids into giant ducks, so we can look forward to lots of crispy duck pancakes as the reward for destroying Thargoids. It is believed that these exciting new developments, the emergency ship teleporter and turning Thargoids into ducks, will form the cornerstones of the long-awaited 3306 update. The possibility that the Pilots Federation's social media manager might have taken a little too much Tarek spice with their Ovaltine and might therefore be making these developments up out of thin air has been discounted. The Thargoids have already won. It's been 6 weeks now since news was almost completely blacked out. The conclusion of the Riort Year's End celebrations was announced on the 18th of December, and since then there have been just 2 news releases, both from the Witchhead Nebula. One reporting the renaming of a selection of systems in the Witchhead Nebula to celebrate the defeat of the Thargoids there, and the other announcing that the Thargoids have resumed their attacks in the Witchhead sector. From the bubble, there has been nothing. From the Pleiades, nothing. From Colonia, nothing. Conspiracy theorists are already deciding that the bubble, the Pleiades and Colonia have in fact already been destroyed by the Thargoids, and that the only remaining stronghold of humanity is in the Witchhead sector. The commanders who think that they're still flying around the bubble are in fact in a coma, induced by Thargoid poison, and are dreaming that they're still flying their ships, while their bodies are in fact being used as a gruesome nursery for Tharglet babies, who live inside their host, eating them from the inside out, until they burst out through their chests, a fully formed Thargoid. Remember the documentary Alien? Remember the Nostromo? Remember the testimony of Warrant Officer Ripley? According to the conspiracy theorists, that was a Thargoid hatching. And that's this week's cheery Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news while we can, so you don't have to.